68. So, well, I guess before I give you any information, what type of vibes are you getting about Andy?
When I look at him, it there's just seems to be quite a bit of change coming for him. Um, I'm just gonna also pull a card here for him. Um, well, he got okay, so this is what he got. It's a swan. And basically what a swan means is it's time to kind of dive deep to figure out what you want in life, like which direction you want to go. I actually feel like he may be stepping back from some things. Um, I don't feel like it's 100% of like a retirement or something like that, but I do think that we may not see him as much as we have been. Like he's redirecting his attention more to family and home and his own health and his own well-being.
Well, he is, like he's the executive producer on all these Housewives. He also hosts like Watch What Happens. Doesn't really have like a corporate Bravo job, but he's the face of the network. There is this rumor out there that sometime this month in April that there's a big Bravo announcement coming. Now that could be a lot of things, right? So
A
there's
lot
this
of
rumor,
things.
right? There's this rumor which has gained legs that it's Andy stepping down. Now, if you're stepping down like he is, so he's what, 68, so that's like 56, is it ish? I'm doing math in my head, 57. So, well, he will be 57. So, he has
Right.
two young children. He's like a single father. There's that. You could be taking time to your children,
Yeah.
again,
Yeah.
57 is not old, but you
Mm.
reassess things. I mean, does Andy have enough money to never work again and live a life? Yes. So, I
Yeah.
mean, you have to factor that in. Him stepping down from Bravo could also be, there are rumors that it's nefarious and there's some black cloud and, we're being forced out. I don't think that's the case. But then there's also, maybe you have another big job somewhere, which I don't think that's the case either. But he has actually spoken out and said, none of this is true. Everybody settle down. No, I mean, like you said, there's different ways to step down. I mean, he has a radio show, a book in print, he hosts Watch What Happens. It's not like it's the whole enchilada or nothing here.
Right.
So, I
Right.
mean, like,
Right.
what do you feel about this? Do you feel, I mean, it sounds like you feel something.
Yeah, I do. I don't think that there's any black cloud around it. I feel like okay, so there's a thing that my guides talk about that people sometimes go through, and it's like a purging, an emotional, spiritual, physical purging, and he kind of looks like he's in that purging process. Um, I feel like he's kind of shifting gears a little bit. I mean, he's still going to work. He's still going to do some things. He'll probably do that until the earth has spun 50 more times if he could, because that's just Andy's his personality. But I feel like he's really wanting to kind of just take a step back, breathe a little bit, spend some more time with his family, um you know take care of himself a little bit, is kind of what I feel like. So for him, over the next year and a half, it's about family, it's about home. So
Maybe it's just as simple as like, watch what happens. He's not the host or the show's going away. I mean, you still have a big, like I said when this story first broke, like, I don't know if you could step back from a bunch of shows that you're the executive producer on. I mean, I think
right.
you get paid on that, I think for the rest of your life, whether you're
Yeah.
sitting at home or on a beach somewhere. It's like,
Right.
so I'm not so sure so he says it's false, but the swan card means what? That there's some change
That
coming.
yes, it means that the person is diving deep, looking at their life, looking at other avenues, trying to figure out kind of what is next. And also, diving deep sometimes means returning home. That's why I think he kind of feels like, and I'm not saying Andy's going to sit at the house all day with the kids. I just mean spending more time in that family environment with his kiddos, not being so stressed out. He looks a little stressed right now. But I guess if you're doing that much, you would be, So
Yeah.
and kids, they just don't stay little for very long.
No, and his parents are in Cincinnati. I don't know if that's like a returning home. Maybe I don't know. His parents are not young. They
Right.
seem like he is close to his parents. So who knows? Maybe that's the move. Maybe he'll be relocated. I mean, he flies all over the world anyway,
Oh,
so
of
I
course
don't
he
see
does.
why it really matters. What about there is this rumor out there, when Andy says none of that's true, period. I don't know. And by the way, just because he says it's not true, that means nothing
Doesn't mean it's
too.
not right.
So now there's this other rumor that has gained some traction that the big news from Bravo, and again, maybe there is no big news. Andy seems to imply that there's no big news, that there's big news is that there's a new Housewife franchise coming. Like you said, you watch Salt Lake and we have Beverly Hills and Orange County and, New Jersey, although that's on pause, and New York. Like the rumor is that there's a new franchise being announced. Like Salt Lake is only 5 years old, where they said, hey, we're going to Salt Lake and we met this crazy group of women, as you saw. You watched it.
Right.
They are probably, as a group, the most entertaining and off color out of all the
Right.
housewives. So, like, do you have any feelings around this? Do you want to
Well,
pull a card for this and see what you see?
I will pull a card, but I just want to remind you we did talk about that before.
Hmm.
And I feel like there is something, and it may not be exactly like um the shows that they have now, but I feel like it's a part of the housewife thing. So I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say a big yes on that. Let's pull a card here.
Okay, yeah, we did talk about this before. I can't remember which episode, but we did.
Okay, so we got the beetle, which basically means that things are moving in a different direction. So I would have to say yes. And I just also want to point out there are orbs going behind me.
I have
That
seen so
happens.
many orbs. What are the orbs? I have seen anyone that is
Well,
watching this on YouTube. I mean, the full thing is on Apple and Spotify, we
right.
do share clips on YouTube. So I have seen 1,000 orbs behind you
Yeah,
as
yeah.
well.
Well, I'll tell you what's going on. So I did a medicine tent with my tribe last week, and ever since then, um, I started having orbs. So anytime I get on camera, I'm seeing all of these orbs. So I asked my mentor, and she just said that means that my gods are starting to show themselves more. And I'm actually feeling it. I feel a little bit more comfortable. I'm not second guessing anything right now, even during a retrograde. So that's pretty big for me.
That's good. I was like, another show. We do not need to get into this here today, but I do have people in my life that have moved on to the other side. So I'm like,
Right.
man, is someone trying to get here from me today? Which I'm okay not to talk about that at this moment. I need tissues for that show. But one
Yeah,
day
yeah.
we should do a show like that. But okay, so that's what the orbs are. But I do see them. I've seen many orbs
Yes.
behind you this whole time. So the Beetle is moving in a different direction. So that could mean like a new franchise.
Yes, and I don't know how much you know about beetles, but beetles have a tendency, they constantly work. They are constantly moving forward. And what'll happen is another beetle will come along and take that little ball, which I won't say what we call it in the South, but anyway, they'll take that little ball and they'll move it around, which just to me means that yes, they are moving into something that they've been doing, but it's going in a different direction. So I'm going to say there's going to be some sort of announcement come out that this new show, it's going to be a part of the franchise, but it's going to be a little different. So
Interesting.